Thank you for joining us this evening. The regular scheduled council meeting of the Park City City Council on February 26, 2019 at 7 p.m. Steve, would you call the roll?
Joan O'Hare. George Glover.
Here.
Ben Salcetta.
Here.
Melvin Kerr.
Here.
Tom Jones.
Here.
George Capps.
Here.
Brandy Bailey.
Here.
Jim Schrader.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Tonight, Pastor Dwight Burford is going to lead in the invocation, and Councilwoman Brandy Bailey is going to lead in the pledge. If everybody please stand.
God our Father, we thank you for the love of Jesus Christ for our community. Ask your blessing upon them.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. The first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. George.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
And Jim.
And I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. We don't have anything for awards and presentations tonight, and nobody has signed up to speak at public forum. So we'll move on to staff reports, and we'll start with our Assistant City Administrator and Human Resource Manager. Dana?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to say thank you to all council and all of the people in the community that came out for our flag celebration. It was very well attended. And also very gracious thanks to the Best Western for hosting that event for us. It was very nice to be able to move indoors, and that was a very good opportunity for us. Also, if people in the community would like to purchase any type of flag items, such as shirts or anything that would be stocked over at the sewing and embroidery store, we would like for them to go in there. If you want a flag to hang in front of your house, you can order one there. Businesses that would like a flag, the same thing.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Dana? Ben?
Dan, on that flag design there, that is something that the public has access to be able to download or have access to the file.
Yes, we don't have it in a downloadable format yet, but we will have that on our website. And people are encouraged to use the flag and to make it their own. It is the community's flag. We also do have our repeat on the flag design here in City Hall. If anyone would like to come in and take a selfie, we'll have that up for the next couple of weeks. So we encourage people to come in, take a picture, post it to Facebook.
Awesome. I will say that the best cup of coffee I've had has come in my flag mug.
Thank you. We'll move on to the Director of Public Works, Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Public Works report for February 26, 2019. Parks Department, we repaired landscape beds in McLean Park, planning on going back with some perennials to add some color in that area. Removed and replaced some old landscape timbers at the community building and plan on planting bushes. And they applied ice melt to City Hall and the library and the senior center during our storms. Street Department replaced street sign on 61st and West Parkview that was damaged during the storm, and they used approximately 75 tons of sand and salt mix during the last two ice events. Water Department, Water and Sewer Department installed 9 new residential service connections, completed 60 water sewer line locates for digging projects, and conducted an electrical relay repair to the 85th Street lift station.
Does anybody have any questions? Tom?
I've just got one I wanted to let Eric be aware of. On 53rd Street, where they just redid the road, they took an island out in front of the Best Western.
Yes, sir.
And there's some big chunks of asphalt missing already.
Okay.
I just wanted to make you aware of it. And I mean, they're big enough that you can see them driving by, and I just wanted to make you aware of that before it got too bad.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions for her? Not seeing any. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Brandy?
I make a motion to pursue, to approve the consent agenda with, I have discussion. I have a question.
Well, we can't ask questions on the
Oh,
consent
okay.
agenda. So
That's
you have a
fine.
motion to approve the consent?
Yes.
And Ben?
Second.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. That brings us to item A under new business, which is consider the appointment of council liaisons and alternate to the Board of Public Health. Currently, Councilmember Jim Schrader is serving along with George Glover, and George Capps is the alternate. So I would recommend we just keep it the same. I think this group has only met once, unless somebody's got a burning desire to be on there. Tom?
I make a motion that we reappoint the existing council members to the board of, or the Council of Liaison and Alternate Board of Health.
Okay. Is there a second? John?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. That brings us to item B, which is consider a pricing structure change with Forte for the credit card convenience fees. D?
Our current credit card company, or for processing the credit cards, is Forte. In addition to handling the credit cards themselves, they also provide us the online website that customers are able to use. They have indicated that the convenience fee that they are charging our customers is not enough to cover the cost of the service that they're providing to us, so they're needing a fee increase. In your packet, I've placed a sheet that indicates 3 different options on that. When I received that notice, I started checking into other companies. I checked to see what cities might have a company that they had no issues with, and then contacted the company, gave them whatever information they needed to quote us rates, and got rates from those 3 companies. While I felt like one of the companies had good fees, I had concerns about them. I felt like they were undercutting too much to the point that they would probably turn right around and increase fees later. And the agreement that I looked at had the option to do that, and with only 30 days notice. And we also would only have 30 days, would have to give 30 days notice to terminate. So we would have to be given notice at the same time they increased fees if we didn't like it. There were other things with that agreement that I had concerns about. That, combined with the fact that there would be a lot of staff time consumed in making the change, we would have to, be involved in developing the new website so that it looked like the cities and linked to the cities and so forth. Staff would have to train and learn the new software and how to download those payments and so forth. Customers would also be inconvenienced. So as Dan and I kind of looked at it as a package, we as staff would like to recommend that we stay with Forte and take their option 1. That is a 2.5% fee on all charges that they use their credit card on, with a minimum of $1.95. We're currently paying to Forte, not us, but the citizen is paying to Forte $2.50 per transaction, regardless of the size. It could be $8, it could be $4,500. It's $2.50 to the customer. That is no longer an option, but this option 1 that Forte has provided would actually save any charge that was $100 or less would be equal to or less than the $250 that they are currently paying for their services. So we felt like, the people that are living on a fixed income would actually be paying less for those charges. I looked at 4 months worth of payments. I looked at the months of October through January, and on average, 80% of our amounts that are run through credit cards are $100 or less. So the 20% that are higher than that would pay more because they're going to pay 2.5% of whatever that charge is. I suspect that this is going to change how some people do business. I know we have, for example, people buying building permits, $4,000 item run through on the credit card because they want the rewards points, and I suspect that might change their behavior on that. So, but again, we are recommending this. It is a convenience fee for the convenience of using a credit card. We have other options. For example, ACH withdrawal from their bank account would be free. They could sign up for that. They can pay by check, cash, money order. So there are other means of paying that would not cost them.
Can you touch on the equipment?
Forte is providing us, we need the chip readers. We don't currently have those, and I've convinced them they need to be free. So they're going to give us 4 new machines that are chip readers. So some of the other companies would have been charging us for those.
Does anybody have any questions for Dee? Okay. Ben?
I would make a motion to approve the implementation of the credit card convenience fee option 1 with Forte, a percentage-based pricing schedule of 2.5% with a minimum fee of $1.95.
Okay. Jim?
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Not seeing any discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. Dee, I just want to thank you for the hard work on that. I know you spent several days working on that, and also Dana for getting involved there too. And I've been wanting those chip cards upgraded for a long time because I knew that was a requirement, so I'm glad you got that for us for free too. Thank you. So we'll move on to item C, which is consider an ordinance amending sections of the municipal code related to the Uniform Public Offense Code. Doug?
Mayor and council, this is just a housekeeping amendment, although it's very, very long. As you might remember, the police department is in the process of working to get up and running on the DigiTicket procedure, where make it a lot easier for the officers to spit out from their computer tickets for violations that they come across. And certainly one of the things they have to do is to put in the proper references to the Uniform Public Offense Code. You may or may not remember or know that over the years, Park City has added about 31 kind of local sections at the end of various sections of the Uniform Public Offense Code. Initially, when that was done, they were just numbered next in sequence to whatever the booklet put out by the League of Municipalities had it numbered. Hobart recognized, and the chief, that could create a problem. If they would add some sections one year, then our references would be conflicting, and that would require some constant updating to the DigiTicket platform, which is not an optimum situation. So what we've come up with is we've added, as you can see, for example, in section 1, the resisting arrest section there used to be section 3.14 of the Uniform Public Offense Code. That was the next number after 3.13, which is the one that was in the booklet. While that hasn't changed, it could in the future, so what we've done is just to add a 0.1 to all those 31 sections. Haven't changed the wording of the offenses at all. So this is housekeeping, but kind of important to allow the police department to get the platform up in a way that they won't have to be constantly reworking it.
Thank you, Doug. Does anybody have any questions for Doug? Okay. Is there a motion? Tom?
I'll make a motion we approve the recommendation.
And George, you were there and then you canceled. So,
I'll second it.
okay. Got a motion and a second. And Tom, would you just read off that suggested motion, please?
Amending section or 11-102 through 11-131, 11-133 Municipal Code, Park City, Kansas, related to certain additional sections and of the current Uniform Public Offense Code, and repealing the originals and said sections 11-102 through 11-131 and sections 11-133.
Tom. And George, still second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Not seeing any discussion. Dee, would you call the roll?
John O'Hare. Aye. George Glover.
Aye.
Ben Salcetta.
Aye.
Melvin Kerr.
Aye.
Tom Jones.
Aye.
George Capps.
Aye.
Randy Bailey.
Aye.
Jim Schrader.
Aye. And that passes 8-0. Do you have that ordinance number?
1055-2019.
Thank you. That brings us to item D, which is considered the final plat for Air Capital Industrial Park, 4th edition. Dana?
Yes, in your packet, you have a copy of the plat and also the Planning Commission meeting minutes for February the 18th. And at that meeting, the Planning Commission approved for this to be presented to the council. There were 4 conditions that they placed on that, so we will ensure that when that comes in, that has been met. They were conditions such as the name of the road needed to be consistent, the easement needed to be labeled, the city clerk needed to be changed to the appropriate city clerk, and also included in that was adherence to any future sidewalks that could be included or ordinances that we would have in place for our pedestrian plan. So the Planning Commission would request at this point that you approve this final plat. This is for the property that is at 85th and I-35. It's Air Capital Industrial Park, 4th edition. It's camperland.
Anybody have any questions for Dan? Not seeing any. Is there a recommendation from the council? Jim?
I move that we approve the final plat for Air Capital Industrial Park, 4th edition, as recommended by the Planning Commission.
Okay, Ben?
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. That brings us to item E, which is consider an amendment to the real estate purchase agreement for the maintenance building, which extends the review period and closing date by 30 days. Doug?
Mayor and council, the suggested motion kind of states what this is. This has happened once before. We're having some negotiations between the prospective buyer and the CCUA, and that's taken a little bit of time. He's still an interested buyer, but has asked for an additional 30 days, and that's the only change in the amendment. And at this point, that does not seem to pose any problem for either the CCUA or the city. So I would recommend that you approve that amendment.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Excuse me.
Is there a recommendation from the council? George?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve amendment to real estate purchase agreement for maintenance building, which extends review period and closing date by 30 days, located at 200 East 53rd Street North, Park City, Kansas, 67219.
Is there a second? Tom?
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. That brings us to item F. I'd ask for an executive session to discuss matters related to non-elected personnel and for consultation with the city attorney regarding matters deemed privileged in a attorney-client relationship, and for that executive session to include the council and the city attorney for a period of 25 minutes. John?
So moved.
Ben?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 8-0. All right, we're back from executive session where no binding action was taken at 7:44. And we will move on to item G, which is consider an employment contract for the city administrator position. Tom?
I'm going to make a motion that we approve the mayor's recommendation for a new city administrator's position.
And Ben?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. Awesome. We'll have a new administrator on the first for us, so this is exciting times for the city. I can't wait. Next item is just governing body reports, and we'll start with Jim.
I have a little bit of feedback tonight. I went to listen to an economist speak tonight, and I don't want to talk a lot about it, but I wanted to give some highlights because it kind of pertains to what we do. But this is Dr. Mark Dutzer from Texas A&M University. Talks about us being in an economic boom currently, and boom being the operative word. He always makes this comment, don't watch the news, you're being misinformed, it's all propaganda. Stay focused on the facts. 2019, he's expecting a gradual descent. We've been flying high, but it's the beginning signs of a slowdown, but no crash, just a slowdown. Why? 304,000 new jobs in January, wages continue to go up, 7.3 million jobs available in the U.S., and consumer confidence is high. Why he thinks it'll slow is that the housing industry has peaked. It's not dropping, but he thinks it's peaked and will start to slow. Same thing's going on with the auto industry. He observes smartphone sales having peaked and slowing. Oil prices are also low. He says we are 4 months away from having the longest expansionary period in 75 years, or the longest was 120 months, 10 years, and we're at month 116. So no recession, slow down slightly. And this is interesting, you'll appreciate. The only thing that could derail us from this, in his opinion, is socialism or socialistic ideas. Things to watch for is corporate profits to drop and watch for those hiring numbers to drop. So I think that was kind of interesting as we try to guide the city into the future. I always try to listen to these economists and relay what they have to say, and this is a good one. This will probably be in the paper tomorrow. He's a pretty good speaker. He's an economist that doesn't put you to sleep, which is kind of rare. That's all I have.
Thanks, Jim. Brandy?
Well, to piggyback off what Jim said, the Federal Reserve keeps raising the interest rates and probably will a couple more times this year, but economists have said that they're going to do that in hopes that next year they will start dropping them again. So just something to think about. I want to say I'm excited about this city administrator position. I see a bright future for City of Park City, and so I'm really looking forward, and I'm glad that it was approved this evening. So I'm just really excited for the next, on April 1st, and everybody gets a meeting.
George?
Well, I've got to agree with what Jim's saying about socialism. I don't think we need that. But I got to say, been around here from the beginning. Park City has came a long ways. It's unbelievable. You would have had to been there when we started to really appreciate it. But we have come a long ways, and I think we're doing great.
Oh,
Don't have anything, right?
okay.
I'm good.
Ben?
Sure, just want to say thank you to everyone that came out to the flag reveal there at the Best Western. Thank you to Dana for all the hard work and the committee that did that. And again, encourage everyone to go get their flags there at the sewing shop there, or put your orders in. Also, on the 9th, I will host my coffee event there. That will be Saturday morning at 9:30. So come on out to that. Look forward to hearing from you all there. And then also on our part of our consent agenda was the trash days there, the trash certificates that will be passed out, and we'll have those available here soon at City Hall, and those will be good through the end of the year. So if you're needing to take some loads of trash, this is your opportunity to take advantage of this great opportunity that the city provides.
George?
Yeah, also with the new city administrator starting April 1st, I'd like to thank the search committee and all the efforts and time that they put into this. I think we've got the right fit for Park City, so I appreciate that. Also, in hand with that, we have our new flag, so I think that goes with that as well. So the future for Park City is looking bright. I just thank everybody for the help. Thank you.
John?
I have nothing that wasn't already said, so thanks to the committee that put together the process and screened through everybody. Well, I know that's a lot of work and very highly tasked, so thank you guys.
Okay. Tom?
I thought John was going to make a motion to adjourn, and I was going to second, but I'm going to make it.
Okay, Ben?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Not seeing any further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes 8-0. Thank you.